Forage Facts. Brought to you by DeltAg.
Today we're going to talk about how to improve mast trees and fruit trees, not only in the forest, but in an orchard, or even for that matter in your yard. I get a lot of phone calls from people saying, what can we do to improve it? How can I make more plums on my plum tree or figs on my fig tree? Or what can we do for acorns in the forest? There are 2 times a year when the root system for a tree is the most active. One is right before the leaves drop, which is in the early fall of the year. The other time is right after bloom when it starts putting out new foliage. This is 2 times a year that you can actually enhance 2 things. The ability of that plant to set and hold more blooms, as well as the sizing out process and the production of sugar, which either goes to fruit or goes to seed, whether it be an acorn or a plum or whatever. So there are a couple of things that you can do. If you've got a small tree and you can take a pump-up sprayer and spray the foliage, I mean, that's a good thing to do. 2 ounces in every gallon of water and spray it. You can spray it once or twice in a week or 10 days apart. For most parts of the country, probably from the 1st to the 15th of September, but at a time just before the leaves start to drop. Another way you can do it is what we call injection. You can take what I call a sharpshooter or a shovel, dig a hole underneath the drip line halfway between the trunk and the edge of the shade of the tree, and take 2 ounces in a gallon of water, simply pour it in the hole. You can do that once on a small tree. You can do it 2 or 3 times. If it's a 50-year-old acorn tree, you might want to do 4 different ones around it. But all you're doing there is trying to stimulate the root system at a time of year when the root system is wanting to do the translocation of the nutrients down and the sugar up. If you were using like a granular fertilizer or some sort of bulk fertilizer, an NPK mixture, most experts would tell you that you need to do that in February or March. And the reason that they're wanting to do that is because by the time it gets in and converts and gets picked up by the plant, it's going to impact that plant, you know, in September. What you need to remember is when the foliage, or just before foliage starts turning, is when you've got a lot of movement in that tree. Then what we can do is we can enhance the flavor and the sizing process of the fruit that's on the tree, which is going to make it more favorable not only to wildlife but to human consumption. The fall application, where it seems to have a really big impact, is it seems to help set that plant up where when it blooms, it actually sets and holds more blooms. Once you put more blooms on the plant, you do the spring application, which is going to help in the sizing and in the flavor process. So it's really a neat thing to do. It's not a lot of trouble. It's something that we've done for years, and it's just another way to improve wildlife habitat from the ground up.